Hi everyone, it's Jade here. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be carrying on with our colour along from Johanna Basford's book. So I'm going to jump straight in and go ahead and zoom you in. Okay, so first going in with lime green, I'm going to make a start on this dinosaur that we've got here. So I want to make him like a greeny colour. So I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on him in lime green. So I'll just use light pressure and add this all over him. Then taking spearmint green, I'm going to add in some shade. So the first thing that I want to do is add some shade down here where we've got these little dots. So again, I'm just using light pressure with this pencil just to get a little bit of colour down. And I think we'll add some shade here underneath his leg. And we'll do the same over here where we've got these little dots. And for this leg here, add some shadow to its back leg. And we'll add a bit of shadow around the dice. And then where we've got this little sort of detail on his body, I'm just going to add some of this colour over his little spots as well. And again, I'm still just using light pressure for this. Then taking apple green, which is slightly lighter, I'm going to use this as our transition shade into the lime green. So I'm going to use a bit more pressure and take it over where we added the spearmint green, and then lift the pressure as you come away. So over the spearmint green, I'll just darken that up with normal pressure and then lift the pressure to blend it out. And I'm going to do this everywhere where I've just added the spearmint green. Then going back in with lime green, I'm going to go ahead and use a bit more pressure this time and blend this all together and fill in the rest of the dinosaur. Then going back in with apple green, I'm just going to use really light pressure and just work on our blends here where we've got our little shadows, just so it's not quite as harsh. And then going back in with spearmint green, I'm going to use this to fill in his little spikes. So I'll just go ahead and use normal pressure and fill these in all the way along. Then going back in with apple green, I'm just going to use light pressure and just add a little bit of shade down his neck. Then taking lemon yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the little stars that are around him. So we've got a few little ones here and one over here. So again, I've just used normal pressure to fill them in. Okay, so next going in with smoke grey, I'm going to make a start on our little rocket here. So I'm going to go ahead and do these little metal parts in smoke grey. So I'm just going to use light pressure at the minute and do a base coat on here. Then taking cloudy grey, we're going to add some shadow to this. So I'm going to start by darkening up around the line work so that it looks like it's pushed a little bit further back. So just use normal pressure right up against the line and then lift the pressure off as you come down into the rocket. So for these ones, I'm going to darken up all the way around the edges, just using normal pressure. I'll do the same for this one. And here we're going to go around the edges again and around this outside edge, just using normal pressure. Do the same for these ones. And then this bottom one, I'm going to add some shadow there and lift the pressure. And then we'll add some shadow here and again lift the pressure. We'll add some shadow here where it joins to the rocket and then lift the pressure off. And we'll do the same here and lift the pressure off. We'll add a little bit of shade to these pieces from the dinosaur. And then I'm just going to lift the pressure off here just to blend these bottom lines. Then going in with our white pencil, I'm going to use this to blend everything together because I don't want it to get any darker. I want it to be quite a nice light grey. So if I use this, it will just mix everything together but keep the colour nice and light. Next, going in with carmine red, I'm going to use this to fill in this little window detail, just to add a little bit of red onto our little rocket. So fill that in using normal pressure, and we'll do the same for these little bits that are coming away. And I'm also going to use this to fill in these little dots up here. And the dots on here. Then taking periwinkle blue, I'm going to do a light coat inside the window. And then using UBE purple, I'm just going to add a little bit of shade just to the right hand side, just to darken that up a little bit. Then going in with our gel pen, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little reflection into the window. So next, going in with fuchsia, I'm going to carry on our background here. So I'm going to use normal pressure and fill this in so that we've got a nice pink colour behind the rocket. Then going in with royal purple, I'm going to go ahead and fill in underneath the rocket. So again, I'm just going to use normal pressure. And then here I'm going to start to lift the pressure off. And then I'm going to use Blueberry Blue to fill in this bottom section here. So take it over the purple, mix that together, and then just use normal pressure to fill in the rest of the section. Okay, next going in with raw sienna, we're going to make a start on this little bottle with houses in. So I'm going to use this to go ahead and do a base coat on this dirt down here. So again, I'll just use light pressure and just fill in the dirt sections. Then take in Burnt Umber 306. We're going to work on the shade in here. So I want to darken up this bottom corner here and along the top edge of the line so that the top edge is the darkest part. So I'll do the same for all these sections. So just normal pressure right up against the line and then lift the pressure off to blend it out. Then going back in with raw sienna, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the bottom sections. Then taking matcha green, I'm going to make a start on the grass. So I'm going to use this as our base colour. So I'm just going to go ahead and use light pressure and add this colour in to these grass areas. And we'll do the trees as well with light pressure. Then taking moss green, we're going to add some shadow in. So I'm going to use this underneath the houses to add some darker colour to them. And then again, just lift the pressure off as you come away. We'll do some on this back little tree here, fill that in so that's a bit darker. And then just the right hand side and the bottom edge of the one in front. Here we'll add some shade from the trees. And a little bit down this bottom edge. Then going back in with matcha, just going to go over the blend lines with a bit more pressure. Then using burnt umber, I'm going to fill in the little tree trunks so that they're nice and dark. Then we'll use apple green to go ahead and do a base coat on our little trees here. And moss green again to add in some shadow. So this back one, I'm going to shade the bottom where it joins to the house. And then this one will have some shade where it joins to the house and along this edge here from the tree in front. And again, just lift the pressure off as you come away. So here we'll darken up around the house and then lift the pressure off. And we'll darken up all this side from the little tree in front. And then again, just lift the pressure off. And for this front one, we'll just add a little bit to the bottom section and then lift the pressure off. And then I'm going to go back in with apple green to fill this all in. Then take in periwinkle blue I'm going to use this to fill in the houses. So I'm going to use light pressure and just go ahead and add this colour in to these little houses. So next, taking sapphire blue, I'm going to add some shade into our little houses. So I'm going to start by darkening up underneath the roof. So again, I'll just use a bit more pressure right underneath and then lift the pressure off as you come down the roof, or the side of the house, should I say. I'll do the same for this little roof up here. So normal pressure and then lift the pressure off. This one will add some shadow all under here and then lift the pressure off. And along here. And then underneath the roof. This one will add some to the bottom and the top. And this one will add some along this side of the house and under the roof. Then going back in with periwinkle blue, I'm going to go ahead and use a bit more pressure this time and blend everything together. Then taking yellow ochre, I'm going to use this to fill in the windows so that they look like the lights are on and there's a little bit of a glow in there. Then taking UBE purple, I'm going to use this to fill in this window here, the window frame, sorry. And we'll go ahead and use this to fill in the door as well. So just use normal pressure for that. And we'll use this to fill in the roofs. Again, I'm just going to use normal pressure and then I'll add a bit of a shadow in after. So then going back in with sapphire blue, I'm going to use this to add some shade into our roof. So just light pressure here and just add in some shade just there on that side. Then I'm going to darken this one up so that looks a little bit darker. So for this one, I'm just going to add a little bit of this colour here. Again, I'm just using light pressure, take it about halfway across the roof. And then I'm going to use this and normal pressure to go over the lines on these roofs. And then I'm just going to lift the pressure off and add a little bit of shadow right to the top. Then going back in with fuchsia. Now for this, because it's glass, I'm going to use light pressure because I still want you to be able to see the background through it, but I want it to look like it is through the glass. So I'm going to go ahead and just use light pressure and fill in this section here. Make sure that we've got a little bit of this pink colour all over. And then I'll go in with the royal purple, and again I'm just going to use light pressure, add some of this colour in, take it over the pink a little bit to help it blend. Then we'll go in with blueberry blue, and again just light pressure. And then back in with royal purple. Just going to add a little bit more colour to our royal purple section. But I'm still just using light pressure. I'll do the same for the blueberry blue. And then I'm going to go in with my white pencil and go ahead and blend this all together so that we don't have any white bits showing on the paper. And it should give it like a glossy tone so it looks like it is through the glass. And then I'm just going to go back in with fuchsia, and I'm just going to use light pressure. Just take it over any of the white spaces that you can see. And then I'm going to go back in with royal purple and darken up this section here on the outside. So I'll just use normal pressure. Go ahead and fill in where we laid out the royal purple. And then I'll lift the pressure off here where it joins into the blue. And then we've got some royal purple down here. So again, I'll lift the pressure off where it joins into the blue and then go ahead and fill in this section with normal pressure. Then going back in with blueberry blue, we will darken up this section. So just normal pressure here, fill this in. And you can always go back over where you added your colours in and add a bit more pigment to it if you're not happy with the colour. So I'm just going to go back over and add a little bit more colour into this because it looks a little bit too light. Do the same with the royal purple. And the same with the pink. And then I'm going to go back over it again with the white. Then taking our white gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and go over the outside lines of this bottle. So just follow the lines around. Then going back in with lemon yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this star here in the background. Next, going in with carmine red, we're going to make a star on this little bottle here. So for these bits in between here, I want these to be red. So I'm going to go ahead and just use normal pressure and fill these in. So I thought this would look quite nice red. And then we'll fill in these little details here in red too. And this piece here. And we'll do this bottom piece. Then taking burnt umber, I'm going to add some shade into our red. So I'm just going to use light pressure and just add a little bit of shade to either edge down here. And then for this one, we'll add some shadow right in the middle on this line. So just take it straight across the middle line and lift the pressure as you come up. Then up here we'll add a little bit of shadow to the bottom of each of these sections. Then going in with Honey 105, I'm going to do a nice base coat on the rest of this. So just light pressure. Then going in with Camel Brown, I'm going to add in some shade. So here I'm going to darken up either edges. So I'll just use normal pressure right up against the edge and then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. Do the same here. And here. And we'll just add a little bit of shade to the top of that section. For these, we'll add a little bit to the bottom. And the same for this top piece, we'll darken up the bottom section. And then for these bits here, we'll add normal pressure right at the top and then lift the pressure off as you come down. We'll do the same at this end. And we'll darken up both sides of this bottom piece. And then we'll add some shadow over this line here. And again, lift the pressure as you come down. And then we'll add a little bit of light pressure at the bottom just to add a bit of shadow in. And we'll add some shadow along the top here and lift the pressure as you come away. Then I'm going to go back in with Honey and I'm going to go ahead and use normal pressure now and fill this all in and blend everything together. And then I'm going to use Carmine Red just to fill in these little dots up here on the little gold sections that we've just done. Then taking Lemon Yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this star here in the background. Okay, next going in with Cream, we're going to make a start on these dice. So I want them to be like dice, so I'm going to go ahead and use Cream to do a base coat on them. So I'm just going to use normal pressure with this because it's quite a light colour. Then going in with our black pencil, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little dots on here. So again, I'll just use normal pressure and fill these in. Then using Camel Brown, I'm going to add some shade to them. So I'm going to start by shading this side here because I want this to be a little bit darker. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off to blend this out. We'll add a little bit of shade to the top here, just using light pressure. And a little bit of light pressure shade here too. So we'll do the same for this one. We'll add some light pressure shade up here and along this edge. And then we'll do a little bit across this edge here and down this side. And then I'll just go back in with my cream, just go ahead and lighten that up even more. So I'm going to go back in with Royal Purple, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in this bottom section here. So I'll just use normal pressure. Okay, so next going in with Jasmine Yellow, we're going to make a start on this key here. So I'm going to use this as our base colour. So I'm going to do a light base coat on here. Then using raw sienna, we're going to add some shade to this. So I'm going to add some shade up here where the key joins. So I'll just fill that section in with this colour. We'll add a little bit of shade here from that join and then lift the pressure off. We'll do the same down here and here. So all the joins, I'm just adding a little bit of this colour in for some shade. We'll go ahead and add a bit of shade here from this bottled lid. So again, just use light pressure, and we'll do some light pressure shade down here too. And then for the top piece, I'm going to add some shadow underneath the circles. And then I'm going to brighten it up using lemon yellow. So normal pressure now, and blend everything together nicely. Then going back in with fuchsia, I'm going to start to add this colour into the background here. So I'll just use normal pressure and fill in a little bit of this background with this colour. Then I'm going to swap to blueberry blue, and I'm going to use normal pressure to fill in this circle here and under here. And then we'll lift the pressure off here. So we'll fill in this side as well with the blueberry blue, normal pressure. And then again, we'll lift the pressure off about here. And then swapping back to Royal Purple, go ahead and take this over the blueberry blue and fill in this bottom section here. We'll do the same over here. Then going back in with our white gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and add in some star details to this background piece that we've done. So we'll do the same as what I did before, just add some bigger ones and then some little ones around the edges. I'm going to add some into our glass bottle as well, just so that it looks the same as the background. Okay, so going back in with jasmine yellow, I'm going to do a base coat on this label for this bottle here. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and go ahead and fill in the background of the label. Then taking mint green, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the little label. So it's nice and green. And then I'll fill in these little dots as well. And the outside border. Then taking camel brown, we'll add a little bit of shade just over the little writing pieces. Then taking coral, I'm going to use this to fill in the outside of the bottle so it's a nice pinky orangey colour. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and fill this in. And then taking apricot, which is a little bit lighter, I'm going to use this to fill in this section here. Then going back in with our gel pen, I'm going to add a little bit of a shine to the top and a little bit of a shine just to this edge here. Then going back in with fuchsia, I'm going to use this colour here. So I'll take it over the royal purple and then fill in this bit of sky here. And we'll use this to fill in this bit of sky down here too, so it's all nice and pink. Next, going in with orange, we're going to make a star on our bumblebee. So I'm going to go ahead and do him every other stripe in orange. So I think we'll give him this one here in orange. So just fill that in using normal pressure. And then this one here can be orange. And we'll do his little head in orange too. Then we'll use burnt umber, which is quite a dark brown colour, and go ahead and fill in these little eyes and legs. And then we'll use this to fill in his other stripes. So again, I'm just going to use normal pressure, fill this in. And you can take this down into the orange sections and it will just give a little bit of a shadow onto the orange pieces. Go ahead and fill in this top section. And again, just take it slightly down into the orange. I'm going to go back in with the orange and brighten up these little orange sections. Then going back in with blueberry blue, I'm going to do a similar kind of thing because I want the wings to look like they are see-through. So I'm going to add some blueberry blue here, just using light pressure. And then we'll go in with royal purple to match the background here. And again, I'm still just using light pressure. And then we'll use royal purple here, but we've got that book there. So I'm gonna draw a line there. And then we'll use royal purple to fill in this section here, just using light pressure again. And then we'll go in with fuchsia and add some pink. And then going back in with my white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and go over the bee's wings just to lighten everything up a little bit. And then going back in with royal purple, I'm going to fill in this top section here so that's nice and dark. And then lift the pressure off as you come into the fuchsia. And then we'll use fuchsia to fill in the bottom section. And in here. Okay, and for this book I'm going to do it yellow. So I'm going to go in with lemon yellow. And I'm just going to add a light base coat over the wing. And we might as well do a light base coat on the rest of the book whilst we're here. So I'm going to go around all the little details on there. And then going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and go over the yellow. Next, going in with apricot, we're going to add some shadow to our book. So I'm going to do some shadow around this edge here. So I'll just use normal pressure. And then here, I'll just lift off the pressure so that we can still see it, but a bit lighter. Then fill in the rest of this edge. And we'll use this to fill in these top pieces as well. And these little pieces here. Then going in with a gold gel pen, I'm going to fill in these little details here on the edges and the little dots on the front of the book. And we'll fill in these details as well so that they look nice and gold and shiny. Then taking camel brown, I'm just going to add a bit of shade here where we've got some writing and down here as well. And then using matcha green, I'm going to fill in these little leaves. And then I'm going to go back in with lemon yellow and go ahead and darken up our colour so it's nice and bright. Then taking jasmine yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the pages. So I'll just use normal pressure there, fill that in. Then taking camel brown, just going to add a little bit of shade to the top edge and then just lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. Then taking periwinkle blue, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the little bookmark. So that's nice and blue. And then going back in with fuchsia, I'm just going to start to bring this colour down around the bumblebee. Then going back in with our white gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and go over the bee's wings to make them stand out a little bit better. Make them look a bit more see-through. Next, going in with Periwinkle Blue, we're going to make a start on these gems here. So I thought these would look nice in a light blue colour. So I'm going to go ahead and use light pressure here and add some of this colour in. So I'm just going to fill it all in with this because this is going to be our base colour. And we'll do these ones the same. Then taking UBE purple, we're going to add some shadow in. So what I'm going to do is sort of focus this on these lines here. So just use normal pressure up against these lines and add a bit of extra colour in. And then just using light pressure, just going to bring this colour a little bit further in. And I'm just going to do this on the right hand side. Then going back in with Periwinkle Blue, I'm going to go over that using normal pressure. Then going in with our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and go over the lightest parts that we left. Add a bit of a shine into our gem. So just using normal pressure here. And then I'll do the same for these littler ones. So I'll go ahead with normal pressure and go around the lines just to darken them up. And this one is smaller, so we won't have as much room to do details. And then again, I'll just lift the pressure off but add a little bit of colour to the right hand side. Then going back in with Periwinkle Blue, do the same again, go over the UBE, darken that up. So I'll just use normal pressure this time. And again, I'm still going to leave some of the lighter patches in here. And then go in with our white just to blend this together. Then going in with Blueberry Blue, I'm going to use this to carry on our circle. So just light pressure and mark out the circle. And then I'm going to go ahead with a bit more pressure and darken that up. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off here and go in with Royal Purple. Take that into the Blueberry Blue and right up to our little jewels. And then we'll use Royal Purple to fill in the top section over here. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off both sides and then fill the rest in with fuchsia. Then going in with our white gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and outline our gems so that we haven't got these black lines on them. And we'll add in our little star details as well. That's our little gems done. So we'll move on to this bottle. So first, going in with Flamingo Pink, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the little petal details on these little flowers so that they're nice and pink. So I'll just use normal pressure for this. Go ahead and fill these in. And we'll use this to fill in this little banner. Then taking Spearmint Green, I'm going to fill in these little leaves. Then using Lemon Yellow, I'm going to fill in the centre of each flower. Then taking Peaches and Cream, I'm going to use this to fill in the background of our label. So again, I'm just going to use normal pressure and go ahead and fill this in. Then taking Apricot, which is slightly darker, I'm going to use normal pressure again and fill in this outer edge. And we'll use this to add some shade over the writing. And just here where we've got these little dots, add a little bit more colour to them. And then we'll use this to fill in these sections of the label up here and down here. And then going back in with Peaches and Cream, I'm going to use this to fill in the rest of the label. So I'll just use normal pressure. Then taking Basil Green, I'm going to use this to add a light base coat to the rest of this bottle at the top, because I thought we could make it like the green glass bottles that you get. So I'm just using light pressure and adding some colour all over. And then using the same colour, I'm just going to add more pressure to darken up where we want our shadows to be. So I'm going to darken up this side here and then lift the pressure off as you come over towards the middle. I'm going to darken up the bottom piece and again lift the pressure off as you come up. Then we'll add a little bit of shade either side of this top piece and either side of this top piece, and lift the pressure as you go in towards the middle. This bottom one I'm going to fill in completely, so darken all of that up, and then I'm going to darken up this side of the bottle, so just normal pressure along this edge and normal pressure right along the bottom here, and then I'm going to lift the pressure off to blend that out. And I'm just going to darken up this line here as well. And then going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to use this to blend out our lighter pressure. Then going back in with fuchsia, we're going to continue the background here so that we can get our white laid on afterwards with our white gel pen. So I'm just going to take this colour, I think we'll take it sort of down here to about there. So I'll fill in above that line just using normal pressure. Then going in with royal purple, I'm going to take that over some of the pink using light pressure. And then start to use normal pressure here to fill in a bit of this background. And then I'm going to start to lift the pressure towards the bottom of this section so that we've got a bit of lighter pressure down here and here. Then going in with blueberry blue, go ahead and fill in this section here. Then going back in with our white gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and add a little shine to the top of this green bottle that we've done and just add some little highlights where we left our lightest colour. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in some star details. Then taking lemon yellow, I'm going to fill in our little stars here. And using a gold gel pen, I'm going to fill in these little balls on this chain. And I'm going to use this to fill in our little ring. And then taking carmine red, I'm going to go ahead and add this colour into this little gem here. So just normal pressure, fill that in. Then using black, I'm very lightly going to add a little bit of shadow to the bottom and just around its little joints. And then I'm going to add a shine using a white gel pen. So going back in with blueberry blue, I'm going to continue our background here and go ahead and fill in this piece around our little gold bits. And then I'm going to take this right up against this book and around the dragon. Is it a dragon? No, it's a dinosaur. And Then I'm going to lift the pressure here where I've drawn out this little line. So go ahead and fill in everything above that. Then using royal purple, I'm going to go over the blue and start to take this colour a bit further down, just using normal pressure. And then here I'm going to start to lift the pressure off so that we can blend into the pink. So going back in with fuchsia, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this bottom piece here and take it over the purple. Then taking camel brown, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on our little cork in this bottle here. And then using raw sienna, I'm going to add a bit of shade where it joins to the bottle. And darken up the underneath. Then taking periwinkle blue, I'm going to go ahead and do a coating on the glass itself. So we'll take it down these edges. Then taking sapphire blue, we'll add in some shadow. So I'm going to darken up these edges and underneath the cork, and then lift the pressure. Add some shade to this bottom corner and this one, and a bit here where the liquid is. And again, just lift the pressure off to blend that out. Then going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to use this to blend this together. Then going in with honey, I'm going to use this for the liquid part. So I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat where the liquid is showing through the label. And then I'm going to use orange to add some more shadow to that. So I'm going to shade right underneath this line here at the top. We'll add a little bit of shade under the label, and in here add some to this bottom corner, and just lift the pressure off when you blend in it away. So we'll lift the pressure off as we come down these edges here, and just a little bit of light pressure at the top there. And then I'm going to go back in with honey and blend this all together, so just normal pressure this time. Then taking carmine red, I'm going to use this to fill in the label. And the big diamond shape on the front. Then taking jasmine yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this label, just using normal pressure. And then raw sienna to add some shade on the writing. And go ahead and darken up this outside edge of the label. So I'm just using light pressure here, but just darkening up the label a little bit more. And then going back in with fuchsia, just going to take this colour all the way down this edge here. And then lift the pressure off as you come away. And I'll do the same over here. We'll fill in this bit here actually underneath the dinosaur's foot. Oops. And then lift the pressure here as you come away. And then I'll go in with royal purple. Just use light pressure, take that over the pink there. And bring that a little bit further down. And then I'll go back over with fuchsia just to blend that out a little bit nicer. So just normal pressure this time. And then back in with our white gel pen. I'm going to go ahead and go round the lines on the glass bottle to make that look more like glass. And we'll go over these little dots as well. Add a little bit of a highlight in there. And then we might as well go ahead and add in our little star details whilst we've got our pen out. Okay guys, so I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you've enjoyed it and I'll see you in part 3.